Well, I was doing some napping last night, and I made a blade core, and I thought I would share with you guys what a blade core is and the technology and the idea behind it and the advantages. So this is the exhausted core. This is heated Texas Chert. When you heat it, it gets glassier. And heat treating these stones is fairly easy and within everyone's reach, really. I do it in a turkey roaster, but that's another video. But the key with the blade core really is preparing the top of the core. See how it's kind of cupped out? And then I did this with percussion, with copper, but you can do this with antler, you can do it with stone or indirect percussion, or even pressure if you're man enough. Okay, I'm back. So you have to set the core up to take these blades. Now you could get more blades off of this core if I hadn't started hinging it up. You can see the hinges on it there. I think there's another one here. It actually looked much better before I tried to fix it. But in any case, you want to isolate the platforms above the ridges, like this one, this ridge here, and drive off a flake. And you end up, when you first start making the core preform, you get these sorts of flakes, which are taking off, establishing your ridges and taking off the cortex. Now, this flake in and of itself would be really useful because it's sharp on the edges, but I can make an arrowhead out of this flake. And there's several like this. And I believe that you call these primary blades. You see they have the cortex on them. And there's a real big one. And this one actually ran all the way down from the top of my blade core preform and took off the bottom. So this was a rounded nodular chert. And a lot of these arrowheads are real useful because you can make smaller points out of them. And they also provide you with a lot of cutting edge. Now, after you get those knocked out, you start to get into what I believe are called secondary blades, which are a little bit wider. And a little bit more curve to them. And again, you get razor sharp, I don't know if you can see that well on the video, razor sharp cutting edges. And you also get small arrowhead blanks. And then you get to the third level of blades, which I'm not sure about the terminology, but are called tertiary blades. And they start to get nice and flat, and they start to get sharp. Now, these were made, if you guys are familiar with the mahaquitls, which were Aztec swords. These are the types of blades they used to make the mahaquitl, which, in my opinion, is just a really awesome, crazy looking, scary thing. So, the advantage of blade core technology is that per pound of rock, you get an insane amount of cutting edge. So these little micro blades would be useful for several things like hoko knives, or just lash it in a stick. It'll cut anything. These again could be made into smaller bird points and arrowheads, but both edges of these, where it came off of the core preform, are ridiculously sharp. So if you're in an area where there's not very much lithic material, or in a situation where you're actually using this stuff to get yourself out of trouble and you have a limited source, then knowing how to do this would really be an advantage to you. So, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.